Hi, I'm the Classic TV Reviewer, and I'm here today to talk about a show that came racing into people's hearts and memories in 1974 through 1979. A show called Starsky and Hutch. A show with a beautiful Ford Gran Torino with the red paint and the white stripe. They fought crimes, serial killers, and it was just so awesome. It was great.
But what about the homosexual aspect?
There is no homosexual aspect. Hutch was married. His wife left him, and they were always with girls. Someone is just reading way too much into this. I don't get it. It's just, why? It's much like He-Man. Why are they saying he's a homosexual when there's not? There's plenty of homosexual characters out there.
Good point.
Thank you. But this show, had so many great, memorable episodes. The one with John Ritter, I'm a huge fan of John Ritter, by the way, was perfect. About him being working for an armored car company, and this guy's holding his wife hostage, is pregnant. That was just a great episode. Priscilla Barnes did an episode, which y'all might remember from Three's Company as well. She was in this one episode where Starsky and Hutch are kind of getting into it. She's playing them both. Dan DeVito did an episode. Suzanne Summers did too. Her and John Sexton did one called The Vampire, which is an awesome episode. I recommend it. There's just really nothing I can say bad about this show. It just had so much going for it. Great characters. And might I say, the one character that everyone should remember from the show is Huggy Bear. Who did not love Huggy Bear?
I know I did.
Yeah, he's awesome, isn't he? There actually was, during season 2, talk of a Huggy Bear show. His own show. They did an episode called Huggy Bear and the Turkey. I know, it doesn't sound that great. But the episode basically was Huggy Bear and this white guy named Turkey, are solving crimes as private investigators. Well, the episode didn't get very good ratings. And of course, there was no Huggy Bear spinoff. But from what I understood, the network wanted to keep Antonio Vargas on the network because they didn't want to leave, have a black guy leave, but they had Bernie Hamilton, which was their captain, which also was a black man. So I really don't get the logic there. But I felt this show was really good for telling ethnic, stereotypes. You had black people in it that weren't drug dealers or any criminals or not played dumbed down. They felt human characters. Their boss was a black man, and all these characters are lovable. This is a show that you need to really check out, and I've loved this show for quite some time, and it's a show on my list, and that's why I'm talking about it today. I really hope you guys will check this show out, because it's just awesome. If you like shows about buddy cops, you want to see a show with a lot of gun and car chases, this is the show for you. I'm just being so honest, it's so great. I've never seen an episode where I just came out and said, oh my god, that episode sucks. I've seen a lot of other shows where, yeah, that episode sucked. But this show is something that I really want people to see, and that's why I'm talking about it. And I'm really hoping that by me doing this, someone will see Starsky and Hutch and say, oh yeah, maybe from the 1970s, people from that era say, oh, I remember that show. I love that show. And there was a movie, in case you want to know, there was a movie in 2004 with
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller and
Owen Wilson.
Yeah, Owen Wilson. I forgot those two guys. They're kind of generic. But they made a movie. There was a video game, and of course, David Soul, neither did Paul Michael Glazier, come back to voice the video game. And it's not that great of a game. Tony Vargas was the only character to really voice it. Starsky and Hutch has had made a lot of impact in the media. Since there's so many fandoms out there, I found tons of while I was doing this research for this show, a lot of it. You know, there you find, you know, Starsky and Hutch websites. It was just a show that, I mean, I'm just really talking how great it is, and it was. I like the human condition of it. I like the fact that for that time, you know, you see episodes about serial killers, or you see episodes. I mean, there's just one episode where there's a guy that's killed because he's black. These two cops are racist. They kill this guy because he's black, and he happens to be a friend of Starsky and Hutch and Huggy Bears. And of course, something like that happened not too long ago. So it's just something that, I mean, there was so much stuff, and it's like, even though it's the 1970s that were going on, it's happening now. It's like not much has changed. Our technology may have changed, our, you know, living has changed somewhat, but we still have racism, we still have crime, we still have all these things happening. And you go back and you just look at the clothes. Oh yeah, this is still happening. Starsky and Hutch was a show that it was declining in ratings at that point in time. Paul Michael Glacier almost walked during season 3 because he felt the stories weren't gritty enough. He came back, there was going to be a female replacement for him. Thank God that didn't happen, because how can you have a show about Starsky and Hutch when there's no Starsky in it? It's like Laverne and Shirley. Remember that last season of Laverne and Shirley?
I don't think I have.
It's all Laverne. I mean, how could you do a show with 2 characters when you have no other? But he did come back, and there was an episode, when they finally did the last season, Paul Michael Glacier was going to walk again because he wanted more and more gritty stories. And they were thinking about firing him and replace him with a character they brought in during season 4, which was Starsky's brother. So they could keep the name Starsky and Hutch, the show. But the ratings really declined, and, you know, newer things were coming more and more popular at that time. You know, shows such as The Incredible Hulk were very popular on the networks. You know, you had, let's see, was it Battlestar Galactica. You had all these different new shows coming, and I think Starsky and Hutch was becoming a staple of that time. But I sincerely say check this show out, because I really feel I've just geeked out enough on this show, and you really need to see it. So check it out if you get a chance. Trust me, I know what I'm reviewing.